Diane Gillespie, CEO of Red Apple Coaching. Welcome to this week's edition of Books That Have Changed My Life. So some of you know that I met John Maxwell, he is actually the top leadership coach in the world. And I met him at an airport. He was autographing books at the airport in the gift shop. And I went up behind him and we started this great dialogue. He gave me this great coaching session and the rest was history. I immediately wanted to be part of his ecosystem. He said, I'm opening a coaching company. I would love it if, we can get into business together. Why don't you come to Florida? Let's have a conversation. And the rest was history. He has changed my world with some of his leadership stuff. When I was in that point, though, I was at that point in my career, and this is many years ago, where I wasn't sure if I had what it took to get to the next level. And so I asked him, out of all his books, which one was the one that he felt at that point in my life that would really be a good benefit. And he recommended this one to me, and it's called Beyond Talent. So you don't hear a lot about his books like that, and you can see it's very well read, and it's got a lot of notes in it and a lot of stuff, and he autographed it and said, glad, that he's glad I'm part of his team, and it was actually a really cool experience for me. But this book is called Beyond Talent, and I absolutely love it. And I think, some talented people, they don't live to their full potential, and they wonder why. They wonder why that, they get trapped in this mediocrity. They can't understand why. They don't know the difference between really talented people versus themselves. They know that they're talented. They just can't figure out how to get there. And this is a really good, it has, like most books, it has about 13 or so steps that you want to really look at and explore and follow that'll give you that idea. And it really helps with that. So I found this book probably the best for that. And I'll give you an excerpt of one of the quotes in this book, which I thought was really good. And this was on page 140, and it says, "It is easier to move from failure to success than it is to move from excuses to success." So the moral of that is most people don't even try because they're so stuck on the fear of failing that they get trapped in that mediocrity. And they're worried that failure isn't going to really get them to where they want to get to. What they don't realize is that someone, even as a coach myself, I can tell you, someone who is stuck without the failure and they're just stuck in excuses of why they're not even starting is going to have a lot harder to get to the top than they would on somebody who actually puts it out there. They go through the failure, they end up on top, and they often recognize their true talent along the ways of failure. So this book, Beyond Talent, one of my favorite John Maxwell books. It is totally separate from all the other leadership books that you might read from him, but I strongly suggest if you're stuck in mediocrity in any capacity, give it a read, give it a shot. I think you might love it just as much as I did.